Good morning, everyone. So we are back from another garage sale adventure. We were probably out for about 2.5 hours this morning, and we went to a little town outside of Sarnia called Brights Grove. I think it's actually part of Sarnia. And then we kind of did a loop around town, and this is what we came up with. So I'll start off by saying we spent $110 for everything here, and I think we're going to do pretty well on everything. I'll give you a little rundown of the best things and what I think will sell for the most money, and then we'll get stuff listed on eBay and Marketplace and see what sells. So the first stop of the day was probably the best find. This is vintage Polly Pocket, and it's from the early to mid 1990s. So all of these sets have their are complete, so they have like the characters and they have everything to go along with them. And if you look on eBay, there's collections like this that have sold for over $600 to $700. We paid $50 total for everything, which at the time I was thinking was way too much. But now that I've seen some listings, I'm thinking we're going to do really well. There are some other specific sets that will sell for a lot more money. I believe there's like a children's hospital one that was like $700 or something like that. So I'm going to have to look all these up to see what each one sells for individually, and then maybe we'll just group them together as a lot and sell them all. But yeah, this one should be interesting because if we put it for auction, it could go crazy. Like there's been some crazy bidding wars on Polly Pocket, and it even has the original mat. So that's probably the best find of the day. I'll show you here. We got two vintage clocks. This one kind of different. I don't know why the dial is the way it is. Like, it's not even a 24-hour clock. Kind of weird the way that's set up. But this was $25, and then this one was $20. So I should probably get around 60 to 80 for this one, and then maybe like 40 for this one. And then at that same sale, this was $5, which was a really good deal. Like, I can probably get around 40 to 50 for this alone. So yeah, for $5, that was worth picking up. Other than that, there was a collection of vintage cameras, and if you can get cameras cheap enough, they're usually worth picking up, even if you don't look them up. So this one's Yakisha, I believe that's how you pronounce it. But there's big names like Leica is a huge name. If you find a Leica camera, especially a vintage one, you're looking at thousands of dollars. So it's worth looking into vintage cameras. I believe we paid like $20 for the cameras and then these watches. And I think we'll do very well with them. Like I said, they're small, they're easy to ship, and you can just store them away until they sell. At that same sale, there was these watches, and the lady had actually purchased a storage locker. There's a sterling silver bracelet. So she was just trying to get rid of everything. So when we paid $20 for everything, I think she was pretty happy. But there was a vintage Seiko quartz watch, which this is probably a $150 watch. I'm hoping that the battery didn't destroy it, because that can happen, especially with quartz watches. And then here's another Seiko watch. It's a good brand to look out for, especially the vintage ones, because people like the style of them. And then this one, you can see the name on it. It'll probably give you a little bit of a heart attack if you saw that at a garage sale, but of course it's a fake one. Fake Rolex. Yeah, I just threw that in. I'm gonna probably try and find like a rubber band for it, like a rubber armband, and then just sell it as is, probably for like $60 to $80, because people like to have that style, you know, even if it's not real. People will pay up to have that look. So again, I'm hoping the battery hasn't completely destroyed that one too. And then there's this vintage belt buckle, solid brass belt buckle, probably from like the 80s or 70s or 80s. And then we got the fine China McDonald's plate under there. That was like 25 cents. I told Jillian that we're going to have to make like a display in our China cabinet with just McDonald's plates and just have them all displayed in a line. Also, at that same sale as the McDonald's plate was this vintage Christmas angel. You guys probably know by now, really good to look for vintage Christmas items. And at garage sales, they're usually very cheap. Like this was like $1, and it'll probably sell for like $25 to $30 on Marketplace or eBay or garage sale. So, and you can see they paid like $1.29 at Goodwill for it. And under that, we got a vintage painting. That was $1. And there's a signature at the bottom. I can't quite make it out. I'm gonna have to look closer there. And I just thought it was kind of neat. Probably won't sell for very much, but it was just kind of cool. Might just go up on the wall. And then this, if you're a child of the 80s or early 90s, you'll remember this game, vintage basketball. And that was $3. And this was $1, a vintage Jeopardy game. Hopefully it works. Anytime you buy electronics, it's good to open them up and make sure the battery hasn't absolutely destroyed it. I didn't really do that with this, so we're kind of taking a chance. And then the rest of this is Jillian stuff. So this is going to have these bubble glass frames, really cool vintage bubble glass frames, but we're going to put a picture of Ted and Ben in them, and they're going to hang over probably over the bed. And then Jillian found an amazing vintage horse purse, which will have to be cleaned up because it was the lady that was selling from the storage locker. So yeah, really gonna have to clean that up. And this is etching or a print of the Lawrence house, which is a house that's kind of famous in Sarnia. It's downtown, and that was made in the 70s. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Oh, and then one more thing. This little copper pot, and it looks like it's old. I think it's really old, actually. Usually these were like things that were made to look old, but this has the look to it. So it's probably made in the early 1900s to 1930s. It doesn't have a name on it, but it is soldered. So you know when something like that is made with solder, it's kind of early. But yeah, that's everything. We're gonna get everything listed and see if we can get some good sales. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you up with you in a little bit when we get some stuff sold.